there is your assignments. And down here at chapter 7, I took off 6.6 and I added 7.1 through 7.3. Now, 7.1 and 7.2 aren't going to be that big a deal. 7.3, some of you might have not seen adding and subtracting of matrices. It's not a big deal. And plus, I didn't give you very many problems. I think I gave you like 8 problems here and 10 or 12 problems here. So nothing that you can't do in one day as far as those 2 added sections. And we've got today and tomorrow, and there's your test. I have not loaded the Unit 4 test yet. It will load automatically because it's got a date on it, probably Friday at 8 o'clock. Okay. And I'm looking to see if there's anything else I need to tell you. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, let me go ahead and tell you this, and I always do this because I'll always get some deadhead or lone wolf that says, "Oh, I didn't know that." So I'll go ahead and let's get that out of the way. Final exam. And once it's recorded, they can't say they didn't know. Final exam. Usually I do 30 questions, either 25, 30, or 33 questions. I haven't looked at this one, so I can't remember what I put on it. I rarely do not go over or below these, except calculus. Sometimes calculus, I will drop it to 15 or 20 because of the time it takes to do calculus problems. Usually I give you 2 hours, and that is about an hour more than I make the test, because what I do is I make the test an hour by the question average time, and then I give you an extra hour to take that test. And you have 2 attempts. Takes the highest. And y'all's, I don't know the dates. They'll probably come up. I pretty much, let's see, hold on. Academic calendar says the exams go to the 21st, so I leave it open to the 21st. I leave everything open to the 21st, so it ends on the 21st midnight. It is cumulative. All right, it is cumulative. So that means if you want to review your test, you go to your grade book. Go to your grade book, and whatever test you want to go look over to the right, and there'll be a review link. And you should be able to review that test. I don't know, I may not have them all printable, but you will be able to review it on your monitor. Some you may be able to print. I don't know, because it's been a while since I've looked at the configurations of the different tests. All right, who has a question about the final exam? It does count just like your other test. So it's within the 70% of tests. Okay, so 70% of your grade comes from the test and the final exam. 20% homework, 10% y'all's quizzes that you have in there. Who's got questions on the final exam? Okay. And since I'm talking with everybody that does the homework, I ain't got to talk, I'm not keeping a secret. What have y'all noticed about the homework and all the assignments? What have y'all noticed? They're all due on the what?
21st.
They're all due on the 21st. Why do I do this the last week or two? Why do I open up all the assignments?
To expose the procrastinators.
No, but that's a good thing. But why do I open up all the assignments the last week or two of class?
It's probably easier on you than having to make up due dates.
Yeah.
To give people a second chance on doing their homework.
Yeah.
So they can't come to me after grade turn in and say what? Oh, I didn't know, or I didn't. This is the third recording that I've said they have until the 21st to make up any test or homework. So they can't say they didn't know. There you go. All right. So chapter 7. I'm not even going through the slides because I have my own way of teaching matrices. And I don't have any homework questions. So we're just going straight into chapter 7. And here we go. What is a matrix? Well, matrix is another way to write a systems of equations. Matrix is another form of systems of equations. Now, I did pull some review questions in on this homework. You'll see it. They're 2 by 2. The 2 equations, 2 unknowns, like we did back in the review. I pulled them in intentionally so you can see the comparison. So I'm going to make one up here right here. 2x plus 3y is equal to 8. And 4x minus 3y is equal to 12. Okay, so these are the ones that you know how to do. You know how to do them by graphing, substitution, and what? Elimination. Y'all remember that? Okay, so this is that. Y'all know how to do that. But we're going to turn this into a matrix. And here we go. And this is chapter 7. So this, you know this from review.
Hey, mute your mic.
Yeah, mute your mic, please, whoever that is. Okay. All right, review. So here we go, chapter 7. I'm going to turn this into a matrix. 2, 3, 8, 4, -3, and 12. Now, I just turned that into a matrix. And I'm going to use the identity matrix to solve this equation. Now, if you've never done a matrix before, you better pay attention because I'm going to tell you, it can be a little bit confusing. What does the identity matrix look like? Well, the identity matrix looks like this. Well, I already drew it wrong to begin with. 1, 0, 0, 1, and then a number here, and then a number here. That's what the identity matrix looks like. And that's what you want your matrix to look like when you're finished. Because when you're finished, you get x is equal to a number, and you get y is equal to a number. That's what that means. 1x plus 0y is equal to a number. 0x plus 1y is equal to a number. That's what you get. So when you do the identity matrix, you pretty much have done elimination, except you don't have, this is the X column, this is the Y column, and this is the number column. All matrices are done like this, all, okay? Your X is to the left, your Y is in the middle, the Z would be at the end. Okay, so whether you're doing a 2 by 2, this is called a 2 by 2, because the body of the matrix is 2 by 2, or a 3 by 3. Okay, hopefully some of y'all have had exposure to matrices. So right quick, virtual hands. How many have been exposed to a matrix before? Virtual hands. Let's see your virtual hands and leave them up. Virtual hands. Come on. I need to see everybody that's had, so I'll know. I know y'all don't communicate, but at least a virtual hand will tell me what I need to expect. Okay, it looks like 4 people. 4 out of 10. Okay, now 5. 5 out of 10, so half the class. Well, half the ones that do the homework. Okay, you put your virtual hands down. So, you can make a matrix out of any system of equations. All right? So here we're going to go now, we're going to do this matrix. 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 8, 4, -3, and 12. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, and I'll show you this right now, you always want to start with the top left-hand corner. Always start with the top left-hand corner right here. And with a 2 by 2, you will go in this direction. With a 2 by 2, you'll go in that direction. You'll change this 2, then you'll change this number, then you'll change this number, then you'll change that number. So let's start. So since I wrote in green right here, I'm going to write in green. I have got to get more fluorescent colors. My fluorescents are running out. I'm going to divide R1 by 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide R1 by 2. And that's going to give me a 1, a 3/2, and an 8/2, which is 4. Okay, so that's my first thing. I got my 1. So that 1 right here, I got it. Now I got to focus on making this a 0. So I'm going to multiply row 1 by -4. Row 1 by -4. Add it to row 2 to get new row 2. Now I can tell you right now, you're never going to see this in any book. This is a Hubertism. This is what I could not figure out what they were doing in Math Science 412 at Clemson. So I made up my own little thing. Okay? And this is what I came up with. So if you want to learn it their way, you knock yourself out. So row 1 times -4. So -4. Well, -4 will cancel with this 2, and that'll leave -2 times 3 is what? -6. Or you can say -4 times 3 is -12 divided by 2 is -6. And -4 times 4 is what? 16. You're going to add that to row 2. and that's going to give you 0, -9, and -16 plus 12 is what? 4, Hubert. And that's my new row 2. So now I got 1, 3/2, 4, 0, -9, and -4. So now I got my 1 and my 0. So now I'm going to make this a 1. So how do I make -9 a 1? That's a Q. QUE. That means I'm queuing the class. I'm trying to get somebody to say something.
Divide by -9.
I tell you what, Miss Taylor, you are on the ball. And you're going to be chastised by the other students. 1, 3/2, and 4, 0, 1, and 4/9. Oh my gosh, look at there. We got our 1. So now all we got to get now is we got to get rid of that 3/2 and make it a 0. So we're going to take row 2, multiply by -3/2, add it to row 1 to give us new row 1. So row 2, so 0 times 3/2 is 0. 1 times -3/2 is -3/2. And 4/9 times -3/2 is what? -12. And we can cancel that 3 with that 3. Hold on, that'd be -4. No, 6, -4, 6, which is -2/3. Somebody check my math there. Can somebody verify that? Make sure I didn't mess up. Appreciate it.
-2/3.
Okay, thank you. 1, new row 1, or row 1 is 1, 3/2, and 4, which is what? 12/3. And that gives us 1, 0, and -2, that's 10/3. So our new matrix, I'll leave that up for a couple of seconds. Our new matrix is zero, or I'm sorry, 1, 0, 10/3, and 0, 1, 4/9. So these two lines intersect at 10/3 and 4/9. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check it. So let's check it. And I'm going to write this. This is our answer. So we're going to check using graphing. So 2x plus 3y is equal to 8. And 4x minus 3y is equal to 12. And let's see, 3y is equal to -2x plus 8. And that's y is equal to -2/3 x plus what? 8/3. Y'all check my algebra there. That's your first line. Your second line is going to be -3y is equal to negative 4x plus 12 divided by negative 3. And I get y is equal to 4/3 x minus 4. So let's pull up our handy dandy calculator. Y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus what? Plus 8/3 plus 8/3. And I don't like that. Second insert parentheses. There we go. Second insert parentheses. There we go. And then the next line is parentheses 4 divided by 3, close parentheses, x minus 4. And graph. And zoom standard. And let's do a second trace and intersect. And my guess is right there. I get 3.33 and 0.44. So I need somebody to, I know 10/3 is 3.33. Somebody take 4 and divide by 9. What do you get?
.444.
It's a miracle. All right, now I want you to check it with substitution or elimination. Check this answer. Do this by substitution or elimination. I'm not going to do all three, but we're going to do one of the two. I'm going to do elimination. Why am I going to do elimination? Can anybody tell me?
Because it's already set up with opposites for the y.
Thank you. So you're the one that listens. It's already set up to get rid of, to eliminate the y term. So I'm just going to go up here and I'm just going to take my red marker and I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to rewrite 2x plus 4x is what? 6x is equal to 20 divided by 6, divided by 6, x is equal to 10/3. Back substitute, 4 times 10/3 minus 3y is equal to 12. Well, that's going to be 40/3 minus 3y is equal to 12. So 36/3 is over here, 36/3. So that's going to be negative 3y is equal to 36/3 minus 40/3, which is negative 3y is equal to negative 4/3. And divide by 3 over 1, you multiply by negative 1 over 3. And I get 4/9. So as you can tell from your review section of substitution, elimination, and graphing, you can go back and check this matrix to make sure that you did it correctly. All right, let's try another one. Let's try one of your homework problems. Because I gave you some 2x2s. I think I gave you like 5 2x2s to do. So assignment 7.1 should be the first 5 or 6. And they didn't put them in order. Shoot. There you go. There's one. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. There you go. Now I want you to set it up as a matrix, and I want you to get started on it. I'll give you a couple of minutes and see if you can start on it and, you know, see what you can do. Or you can just sit there and, you know, enjoy the, you know. I'm checking my email, make sure nobody's fussing at me this morning. So far, so good. Nobody's fussing at me. I'll get fussed at today for something, I know. All right, so 5x, 5, 10, 20, 8, -4 be a positive. Oh, I hate when they do this. They put it in disorder to make you mess up. Oh, 5, 10, 20. And then 4 is going to come over, and that's going to be a +4. The y is going to stay under this, so that's going to be +8. And then the 16 is going to go across the equal sign, so that would be a +16. Y'all check me, make sure I didn't mess up. All right, there you go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take row 1 and divide by 5. And that'll give me 1, 2, and 4. Now I'm going to take row 1, multiply by -4, add it to row 2 to get new row 2. So that's going to be -4, -8, and I'm sorry, yeah, -16, and add it to 4, 8, and 16. And we get 0, 0, and 0. Well, there's something funky going on here. But we'll go ahead and try to finish it out. 1, 2, 4, 0, 0, 0. And there is no way that we're going to get a 1 here. Well, we can take row 1, multiply by 1/2. No, we can't do anything. So we've got 0x plus 0y is equal to 0. That's a true statement. So it looks like to me it's either all real numbers or no solution. But let's graph it so we can make sure. So let's go back to the original equation. I knew the homework would do this with me. So 5x, I'm going to go over here. 5x plus 10y is equal to 20. And 8y minus 16 is equal to -4x. So 5x or 10y is equal to negative 5x plus 20. And divide by 10. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 2. And right here, 8y is equal to negative 4x plus 16. Divide by 8. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 2. So we've got the same line. So the answer is all real numbers. How did you know here? Because this is a true statement. When you see something funky and you've done what you're supposed to mathematically, either it's a contradiction, an untrue statement, or a true statement, you either got no solution or you've got real numbers. In this case, we have a real solution. 0x plus 0y is equal to 0. So you checked it and you got the same line. So the answer is all real numbers. So you go down here, and all real numbers mean infinite solutions. Okay, it's a good thing I showed you that, because now you know what happens when you get something funky. It's either going to be infinite solutions, all real numbers, or it's going to be no solution, which means 5 is equal to 27. So let's go to another one. That one is, yeah, we do that one. I didn't know they'd throw a decimal in there, but we can do it. Now you can clear the decimals if you want to first, or you can just treat it like a regular, just do the matrix. If you want to clear them, that's going to be 5x plus 6y is equal to 22. And 6x minus 5y is equal to 2. 6x minus 5y is equal to 2. Okay? And there is my matrix. There is my equation. And now I'm going to turn it into a matrix. 5, 6, 6, negative 5, 22, and 2. And the first thing I'm going to do is divide this row 1 by 5. And that's going to give me a 1, a 6/5, and a 22/5. 6, negative 5, and 2. And now I'm going to take row 1, multiply by negative 6, add it to row 2 to give me new row 2. So negative 6, negative 36/5, and negative what? That'd be a 2, and then 132. Somebody check my math. Negative 132 over 5. And then 6, and then negative 25/5, and then negative or 10/5. Y'all check my math. It's going to give me 0, negative 61/5, and negative 122/5. And I do need somebody to check and make sure that I change those into the right numbers. That'd be 1, 6 over 5, 22 over 5, and then 0, negative 61/5, and 122/5. And I'm pretty sure that that's correct, because how many times will 61 go into 122?
Twice.
So I know at least I'm getting whole numbers, so that's a good sign. So we're going to go to the next page, and I'm going to take row 2, divide by what? Negative, or multiply by 5 over 61, or divide by negative 61 fifths. Leave that on there while y'all are working. So that's going to give me 1 6/5 and 22 fifths and 0 and positive 1. And let's see, if I divide, I multiply by -5, so that's going to be positive. And it's going to be what? I multiply this by 5 over 61. So that's going to be what? Positive 2. Check my math. And there we go. Now I'm going to take row 2. I'm going to multiply by -6/5. And I'm going to add it to row 1. And that should give me new row 1. So row 2 be 0, -6/5, and -12/5. And 1 6/5, and what is that? 22 fifths. I get 1 0 and 10 fifths, which is what? 2. So my final matrix is 1 0 2 0 1 2. So we've got an intersection at 2, 2. Now I want you to check it. I want you to check it however you want to check it, with graphing, elimination, or substitution. Go to it. And I'll rewrite. There's the equation right there. So I don't care how you do it, substitution, elimination, or graphing. Tell me if 2, 2 is the intersection. I'm probably going to do elimination. I just don't like having to solve for all those different variables to do graphing. That's why I don't like graphing. So 5x plus 6y is equal to 22, and 6x minus 5y is equal to 2. Which one am I going to eliminate? That's another cue. That means I want somebody to say something.
Y.
Why am I going to get rid of the y?
Opposite signs.
It's got opposite signs. That's one less step. So I'm going to multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 6. And that's going to give me 25x plus 30y is equal to, let's see, 20 times 5 be 110. 36x minus 30y is equal to 12. 30s cancel. You're left with, it looks like 51 or 61. 61 x is equal to, oh my gosh, 122. Divide by 61. X is equal to 2. Plug and chug, 5 times 2 plus 6y is equal to 22. 6y is equal to 22 minus 10. Look there. It's a miracle. And that's how you check your matrix. You either check it with substitution, elimination, or graphing. But you know, all of them are not going to be 2 by 2, now don't you? Some of them are going to be 3 by 3. I'll tell you what, before we go to 3 by 3, let's go ahead and do that one. Let's see if we come out with a good answer. Go ahead and do that one. I'm going to let y'all do it right quick. I'm going to give y'all like 3 minutes. And I do not have any idea if it's coming out with a solution, all real numbers, or no solution. I don't know what the answer is. So when you turn them around, you should get that right there. All right, time flies when you're having fun. So let's see what we do. I'm going to take row 1, divide by 5. That gives me a 1, a 2, a 3, 8, 2, 6. Now I'm going to take row 1, multiply by -8, add it to row 2, and that'll give me new row 2. So -8, -16, -24, 8, 2, 6, 0, negative 14, and what? Negative 18. Check my math there. And my new matrix is going to be 1, 2, 3, 0, negative 14, and negative 18. Negative 8, 0, negative 16 plus 2 is negative 14. Negative 24 plus 6 is negative 18. Now I'm going to take row 2 and divide by negative 14. 1, 2, 3, 0, 1. And negative 18 over negative 14 is going to be positive. And 18 divided by 14 is 9 over 7. Y'all check me.
Yeah, it's 9/7.
And now I'm going to take row 2 multiplied by, row 2 multiplied by negative 2. Add it to row 1 to get new row 1. So 0, negative 2, negative 18 sevenths. 1, 2, 21 sevenths. 1, 0, 3 over 7. So 1, 0, 3 over 7. 0, 1, 9 over 7. So if I'm correct, we have an intersection at 3/7, comma, 9/7. So let's check it with graphing. And the only reason I'm going to use graphing is so you can see it. That's the only reason. So I'm going back over here, and 10y is equal to negative 5x plus 15. Y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 5 halves, or let's see, 3 halves. 5 will go in there 3 times, and 5 will go in there twice, yeah. And 2y is equal to negative 8x plus 6. Y is equal to negative 4x plus 3. So we're going to graph those two. Y is equal to clear, and y is equal to negative 0.5x. The only reason I'm doing 0.5 is easier to type in. Plus what, 1.5? And the next one is negative 4x plus 3. Typed in the wrong negative. There. There they are. Second, trace, intersect, and the guess. What about there? And I have no idea. Let's see. Somebody take your calculator and divide 3 by 7, please. That means when you get it, I want you to say something.
You have a work email.
3 divided by 7.
0.4285714,286.
Thank you. And 9 divided by 7.
1.2857.
So now y'all are in the matrix. What happens when you get 3? You quit. Right? Y'all settle down, please. There we go. There's a 3 by 3. So turn it into a matrix for, well, no, we're going to solve it by substitution. So I'm going to kind of review with you a little bit before we turn it into a matrix. So 5x minus 4y plus 6z is equal to 30. 3x minus 4y minus 5z is equal to negative 18. And x plus 2y minus 3z is equal to negative 8. Now, the best way to solve a 3 by 3 without doing a matrix is to do substitution. I'm sorry, elimination. What do you mean elimination? Well, you're going to take these two and you're going to eliminate a power, and then you're going to take these two and you're going to eliminate the same power. Now, you don't have to choose the first two. You could choose the second and the third and the second and the first. And you can choose the third and the first and the third and the second. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you're consistent. You got to have one of them in both. Does everybody understand that? You got to have one equation in both eliminations. And in this case, my number 1 is in both. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to rewrite 5x minus 4y plus 6z is equal to 30. And 3x minus 4y minus 5z is equal to negative 18. And then over here, I'm going to write 5x minus 4y plus 6z is equal to 30. And x plus 2y minus 3z is equal to negative 8. Now what? Well, you need to pick a variable to get rid of right here. Does anybody know what I'm going to pick?
Y.
I'm going to pick the y. So I'm going to skip a step, and I'm going to multiply the first row by negative 1. And that's going to give me a negative 5, a positive 4, a negative 6, and a what? Negative 30. Now I did skip a step there, and all I did was multiply through by negative 1. And negative 5 plus 3 is what? Negative 2x. Negative 6 minus 5 is negative 11z. And negative 30 is negative 48. Now, whatever I got rid of here, I've got to get rid of here. Make that note. Let's write that down. Whatever you eliminate here, and I didn't spell that right. Whatever you eliminate here, you have to eliminate over here. So I've got to get rid of this this y column right here. So I'm going to multiply this by positive 2. And I'm going to, that'll be 2x plus 4y minus 6z negative 16. Okay, multiplied by 2. 2x, 4y, 6z, and 4 times, and 2 times 8 is 16. Negative 8 is negative 16. And add those two together. And that'd be 7x. This goes out. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0z is equal to 30 minus 16 is what? 14. So what do we got now? Well, technically, you don't have to go any further, but I'm going to show you what the next step is. What I have here, a 2 by 2. What do I have here? A 2 by 2. So I can make a 2 by 2 elimination. In this case, the 0 right here helps out, but we're going to go ahead and write them on the next page. Negative 2x minus 11z is equal to negative 48, and 7x plus 0z is equal to 14. Now you got to get rid of one of these terms. Okay? Now, technically, you could find x. X is equal to 2. But I'm showing you what to do with the next step. All right? You need to multiply this by 0 and then add them together. And when you do that, it's going to zero out the whole term and you're left with what? This. So if you had another number right here, you would go through and eliminate whichever the x or the z and then start back substitute. But since this is 0 right here, we can actually solve this for what?
For x.
Thank you. And start back substitute. So 7x is equal to 14. X is equal to 2. And now you start back substituting wherever you want to. You can back substitute. I'd back substitute here because you don't have but 2 variables. So that would be negative 2 times 2 minus 11z is equal to negative 48. Negative 4 minus 11z is equal to negative 48. Plus 4 plus 4. Negative 11z is equal to negative 44. Divide by negative 11. Z is equal to 4. And now you got x and z, so you back substitute into one of the originals. And somebody tell me, which one am I going to pick? The first, the second, or the third equation?
Third.
Why the third? The KISS method. What's the KISS method stand for? You have got to be kidding me. Y'all have been through 12 years of school and nobody has heard of the KISS method.
Nope.
Keep it simple, stupid. Why did I pick the third equation? Okay, y'all will be able, some of y'all will be able to really translate to this term, less work. Okay? Why is the third equation less work? Forget it, I'll just do it. X plus 2y minus 3 times 4 is equal to -8. Boy, I feel sorry for y'all spouses one day. You don't need to get married. People that don't communicate do not need to get married. All right, so 2 plus 2y minus 12 is equal to -8. Take the numbers over. That's 2y. Sorry. 2y, bring that 12 over. That'd be a positive 12 minus 2. So -8 minus 2 is -10 plus 12 is 2. Y is equal to 2. Or I'm sorry, y is equal to 1. So these three lines cross at what? 2, 1, and 4. Now, how in the name of goodness do you do this as a matrix? Same way we did the first one. You got to get the identity matrix. So let's rewrite this problem as a matrix. Now, right quick, somebody tell me, what do we have right here in front of this X?
1.
Don't we need a 1 in the top left-hand corner?
Yeah.
So I'm going to make this our first equation. I'm going to put it up here in the matrix. There's no law that says you can't rewrite number 1, 2, and 3. So my first equation is 1x plus 2y minus 3z is equal to -8. Now, unfortunately, I don't see any other 1s or 0s, or missing terms. So there's really nothing else you can do. 5x minus 4y minus 5z is equal to -18. I'm sorry, I just transposed numbers. 5x minus 4y plus 6z plus 6z is equal to 30. And 3x minus 4y minus 5z is equal to -18. So now I got a matrix. It looks like this: 1, 2, -3, -8, 5, -4, 6, 30, 3, -4, -5, and -18. Now, I'm going to draw the way that you need to take care of this, if I can remember correctly. And I'm going to take my red pen or my pink pen and show you which way to go. You want to go down, up, down, over. Okay, that's the beginning. That's the first part. And then we got to get rid of these up here. So go down. You got your 1. Now we got to make this a 0, and we got to make this a 0. Make that a 1. Make that a 0, and make that a 1. And a lot of people says this is a lot of work. Well, yeah, it's called mathematics. That's why everybody's not an engineer or a scientist. That's why engineering scientists are paid a little bit more. I mean, we could easily have underwater firefighting, but there wouldn't be any jobs with underwater firefighting. So I'm going to take row 1, multiply by -5, add it to row 2 to give me new row 2. So I get a -5, a -10, a +15, and a +40. And now I put row 2 right here, 5, -4, 6, and 30. And I get 0, -14, 21, and 70. And that's my new row 2. So 1, 2, -3, -8, 0, -14, 21, 70, 3, -4, -5, -18. Now we want to get rid of the 3. So that'll be row 1, multiply by -3, add it to row 3 to get new row 3. So that'd be a -3, a -6, a +9, and a +24. Add it to 3, -4, -5, -18. 0, -10, 4, and 24 minus 18 is 6. And that's going to give me the new matrix. 1, 2, -3, -8. 0, -14, 21, and 70. And now new row 3 is 0, -10, 4, and 6. Okay, now you got to change this 4, or in this case, this 14, you got to change that into a +1, because that's our next spot. We did these. Now you got to go up here and get this so as 1. All right, so divide that middle row by -14. Them lone wolves are going to be working on 6.6 and 7.1, 7.3. And they're going to leave 7.1 and 7.2 out. Oh, I didn't know. That's why you're going to have a corner office that used to be a closet. So, Miss Taylor, did you see The Conjuring since you sent that gift? Did you see The Conjuring?
Yeah,
or-
I watched it.
How do you like it?
It was good.
I thought it was good. I had a couple on Facebook tell me that it was not good, and I'm like, well, you just winged on a pickle. I thought it was good. How'd you like that guy in the morgue? He was pretty
I
scary,
did
wasn't
not like him.
he was pretty scary, especially when he ran after him. They got a way to make something run after you, and it looks just like a nightmare. I mean, how they do it, I don't know. And some of y'all may not have nightmares, but I've had nightmares. And they can make it when you know what I'm talking about? Annabelle. In the first Annabelle movie, there was she was in the next room and she came through the door. Oh my gosh, it scared me to death. And they did that with that big guy it was, yeah, it was scary.
The worst ones for me are the ones with the ventriloquist dummies. I hate those.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ventriloquist dummies. I'll tell you what horror movies I don't like. I don't like home invasions. I don't like zombies. And I don't like ventriloquist. I don't like those either. I've seen Silence. We're about the dolls. I've seen the Magic. I've seen that. And there's a couple more. No, don't care nothing about that. And I don't like clowns either. I love Stephen King, but I don't like clowns. I'm sorry. All right. Pennywise. I could take the first Pennywise. The first Pennywise was pretty good. I liked him. But anyway, I'll shut up. So I'm going to divide row 2 by negative 14. And that's going to give me 1, 2, negative 3, negative 8, 0, 1. Negative 21 over 14, is 3/2. Y'all check my math. And this is going to be negative 70 over 14. And I think that's negative 5, but somebody check my math.
Yeah, it's -5.
Now, does that tell you that that tells me that I'm on a good path. When that 70 divided by 14 gives you a whole number, that's not a bad sign. And then 0, negative 10, 4, and 6. Okay, now I want you to make this negative 10 go away using row 2. Get that negative 10, make that a 0. Go ahead. Impress me. So I'm going to take row 2, multiply by 10, add it to row 3 to get new row 3. 0, 10, negative 30 over 2 is 15. So I think that's going to be negative 15. I'm just making sure. And negative 50. Add 0, negative 10, 4, and 6. That'll give me 0, 0. Negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11. Negative 50 plus 6 is negative 46. I'm sorry, 44, isn't it? And that's going to give me new row 3. So 1, 2, negative 3, negative 8, 0, 1, negative 3 halves, negative 5, 0, 0, negative 11, and negative 44. Okay, now our pink line says after we find that, we need to move over and change this to a 1. So, oh my gosh, divide by 11. And that's going to give us negative 11. It's going to give us, so I'm going to divide this, divide row 3 by negative 11. And that's going to give us 1. Okay, this one's going in the trash. 1, 2, negative 3, negative 8, 0, 1, negative 3 halves, and negative 5, 0, 0, what is that? 1 and 4. So somebody tell me what we've just found out. Z is equal to what?
4.
Z is equal to 4. So we already got 1. So technically, if you ran out of time, you could actually start back substituting into y minus 3 halves z is equal to negative 5. You could start back substituting. But we're going to finish. We got to get a 0 here, a 0 here, and a 0 here. So you're going to use row 3 to get rid of this guy, row 2 to get rid of this guy, and then row 3 to get rid of this guy. So I want you to finish it. Go ahead and finish it. We've got like 8 minutes. So go ahead and finish it. I don't care which ones you get rid of. Good gracious. Y'all work on that. Sorry about that. my mother, she forgets that I have class and I have to deal with that. So anyway, all right. Because if I don't answer, she thinks something's wrong with me. All right, here we go. I'm going to get rid of this negative 3 halves. Get rid of it first. So row 3, multiply by 3 halves. Add it to row 2 to get new row 2. So that's going to be 0, 0, 3 halves. And 3 halves will be 12 halves, which is what? 6? And then add it to row 2, which would be 0, 1, negative 3 halves, negative 5. And that's going to give you 0, 1, 0. 6 minus 5 is 1. So now y is equal to what? 1. So 1, 2, negative 3, negative 8. New row 2 is 0, 1, 0, 1, and 0, 0, 1, 4. And now I'm going to take row 2 to get rid of that 2, and row 3 to get rid of that negative 3. So what do you want to do first, the 2 or the 3?
2.
So I'm going to take row 2, multiply by negative 2, add it to row 1 to get new row 1. So row 2 would be 0, negative 2, 0, negative 2. I'm going to add it to row 1, 1, 2, negative 3, and what? Negative 8. And that's going to give me 1, 0, negative 3, negative 10. And that's our new row 1. So 1, 0, negative 3, negative 10, 0, 1, 0, 1, and 0, 0, 1, 4. And now we're going to take row 3, multiply by 3, add it to row 1 to get new row 1. Row 3 is 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And add it to row 1, 1, 0, negative 3, negative 10. And that's going to give you 1, 0, 0, 2. So our new matrix, our final matrix, is 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 1, and 0, 0, 1, 4. And that tells us that x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1, and z is equal to 4. And that should be what we got when we did the original, or did we do the original? Oh my gosh, look at there. 214. What do you think?
Fun time. Great time.
Yeah, there we go. We got somebody said something. Was that you, McGee and Miss Taylor? I don't know what I'd do without you, Miss Taylor. But just look at it this way. You're going to have a nice office one day. Anybody got questions?
Hopefully with a lot of windows.
Hopefully with what?
A lot of windows.
Well, I hope you do. Well, you're not going to have a closet office because you communicate. And people that communicate have nice offices. People that are introverts and weaned on a pickle, they end up in the janitor's closet or the corner closet with no windows. And the boss hates them. All right. Question, gripe, complaint. Now, what can you do? You can do 7.1 and 7.2. Now, let me say this. 7.1, 7.2. Do me a favor and ignore the directions and just solve using the 2x2s. You know, use elimination, substitution, but they want you to use the matrices, okay? Now, they're going to give you all kinds of different names, the Gaussian method, the echelon right method, and all that. Just solve using a matrix. I just showed you how I want you to solve these problems. I want you to ignore the directions on 7.1 and 7.2. Replace the directions with solve, okay? I want you to turn everything into a matrix, whether it's a 2x2 or a 3x3, and I want you to solve it. Now, checking it, you can check it by the substitution, elimination, or graphing method. That's up to you. Does everybody have any questions? I didn't even look at those directions because, you know, on those directions, let's see what they say. Okay, that's fine. See, use left to right, elimination, ignore. Okay, just solve it. Solve it like I showed you. We are using the identity matrix. Okay, that's what we're using. Now, why is Hubert using the identity matrix instead of the other? Because this is what you use in programming. Okay, what is programming based on? Binary. Can somebody tell me what this is?
1.
Binary. 0 or what? 1. 0 means yes, 1 means no. 0 means no, 1 means yes. That's binary. So that's why I think it's important for you to know this method over any method. Because some people go into programming. Any questions? All right, today's Thursday, so I cannot take the roll. So y'all are free to go. And I'm going to shut her down, and you can work on 7.1 and 7.2 for those people that are actually working, which are y'all. And I will see y'all tomorrow for our last day